welcome to today's video. I am finally getting to reviewing your guys' enclosures that you guys sent me like weeks ago, and you guys have been asking me to do this for months. I'm finally getting to it. I'm so sorry for the long wait, and thank you to everyone who sent me pictures of your guys' enclosures and for being so patient. We are finally going to jump into it today and take a look at your amazing setups and see what I think about them. So we are going to start with our very first submission from solo_Ren13. And this is a beautiful setup for, I believe, a little stink pot turtle. It's a 3-striped mud turtle. And here are some pictures of the turtle, which is completely adorable. Just a little baby. It looks like a little nugget. Apparently, she's full grown and also possibly gravid with fertile eggs, so that's really cool, and that is why they have a lay box. It's a live planted enclosure with 3 cories and 2 Florida flagfish. So we are going to take a look at this setup. So this is a beautiful setup from right off the bat. It looks really, really good. What I like most is the deep water area that you have for your turtle to provide a lot of swimming area. I'm not sure what size tank this is. If you can let me know in the comments, that would be awesome, because it's impossible to look at a tank and be able to like guess how many gallons it is. Sometimes you can kind of get an idea, but I honestly don't know. This does look pretty spacious though. And it looks really cool because you like filled the tank out. It looks like there's different hiding areas and the wood that you have in there and some plants, which is really, really cool. So then you have the lay box area, which is built with, it looks like egg crate, which is really, really good. Very cool. I built my basking area the same way with egg crate. It works really, really well and it's very easy to do. But yeah, this turtle is living a life of luxury. So it looks like it connects and the turtle can either swim or it can go up into that lay box, which is really cool. And then they have the heat and the UVB on the very top. And then it looks like there are some basking surfaces for the turtle as well. I'm familiar with more species like painted turtles and red-eared sliders and things like that. So those species do bask a lot. I'm not really sure about mud turtles. I think that they typically like to be in the mud. But if they do like to bask a lot, I can see that that is given there for the turtle to be able to do and then to be able to hide. I feel like all of the needs are being met here. So just a fantastic job, and I'm really glad to see a turtle example for once because we don't really get them too often. Turtles are so hard to care for. So it's really great seeing a setup that's perfect for a turtle to give inspiration for others. So thank you so much for sharing this one. Next up, we have Annie Exotics. And this is Jupiter, her Taiwan beauty snake, which is absolutely stunning. What a gorgeous snake. It just, oh, I love it. The colors, everything. And the setup is so stunning as well. I'm not sure what size enclosure this is. I think it's a Exoterra of some kind. It does look pretty spacious. There's a lot of different hides, so many different things to go through, and I love that there are some live plants in here. It looks like there is a, is it like the Swiss cheese monstera? I think that's what it's called. It's so pretty. It looks like there's also pothos and then some fake plants as well. All of that will just help fill in the space and make your snake feel secure. There's a water bowl, just so much different climbing opportunity, which is so great. The only recommendation that I would have for this setup would be to possibly, over time, maybe increase the size of the enclosure. But I'm not familiar with this species. This may be completely adequate, and it is absolutely beautiful. It looks like you're doing a great job. But that would be my only recommendation, just because it is really filled out, so I feel like you could also take advantage and fill out an even larger enclosure for this species as well. But that's literally my only recommendation because this is just packed with enrichment, different textures, different feels, different smells, different hiding places. Like all of it is just perfect. So thank you so much for sharing your beautiful snake and your beautiful setup. Next up, we have Drake_A_Price. So this is for a juvenile corn snake, and his name is Milo, and he is the cutest little baby squirt of all time. I love baby corn snakes. They just look like little aliens with those big eyes on that tiny little head, and they are just so cute. So this setup, I'm not sure what size it is, but obviously is suitable for a baby corn snake. It looks very spacious for this little corn snake. I can see that there is one main hide on the right, and it looks like that's what it's in the pictures. And then I'm not sure if there's another hide on the other side. I do see that there's a little bit of things to climb on and a little bit of fake plants. So, and there is a water dish in the center. So my recommendation for this corn snake would be to possibly add another hide on the cool side. The more hides, the better. And then I would also add more branches and foliage and things throughout the setup to fill in those empty spaces, because corn snakes are so active, and it will make your snake feel safer in the setup and just give it more enrichment to be able to climb all around that setup as well. Over time, I would recommend to upgrade to a minimum of a 4x2 enclosure, but obviously what you have right now is completely fine for a baby corn snake because they are teeny tiny, and it looks like there's definitely enough space in this one for yours. I would just fill out the space a little bit more, add some more enrichment with things to climb, different branches, vines, and plants throughout this setup, and I think that you are golden. It looks like you are using a heat source from the top. It looks like you actually have two. One might be UVB and one might be heat, which is perfectly fine for a corn snake. So yeah, fantastic job. Thank you so much for sharing your setup and your cute snake. Next up, we have your local jungle babe. And we have a beautiful blue-eyed leucistic ball python here. So this is actually a 4x2x16 Zen habitats enclosure, which is so perfect for ball pythons. It's exactly what my blue-eyed leucistic is in as well above me here. And it is super spacious for them. You can upgrade them even as a baby, because that's what I did with mine. As long as you fill out the space, it's totally fine for them. So this ball python is 1.5 years old. Her name is Elvira. She is absolutely stunning. And this setup is so beautiful. So this is bioactive, and she did a customized background with spray foam and dry lock. Love it. Love all of it. She said that she still needs to assemble the top of the enclosure, so that's why it looks completely open. That is not how she's going to put the snake in there, because obviously without a lid the snake would escape. So this is just a picture of her like with the setup so far before she's going to put the doors on and the screen. It is kind of hard to get pictures of it once you have everything assembled, so it is cool that she sent a picture this way so you can see how everything looks and get a good feel of everything, because once you put that screen on and everything, it can block all of the stuff in there. But it looks like we have tons of live plants in here, as well as fake plants, branches. I'm seeing hides on the left, in the middle, on the right, a large water bowl, a nice moist substrate. The background looks very naturalistic and beautiful. This setup is perfectly ideal, what I love to see for ball pythons. So I think that you've done an amazing job, and your snake will be extremely happy in here. There's so many different things to climb on and different smells and textures. One thing I would possibly add, which is like not essential, but it's like my perfect finishing touch, would be some leaf litter on top of that substrate. It's also really great for bioactive substrate as well, so it would be really, really good in there. But other than that, you are killing it. That is such a beautiful enclosure. Thank you so much for sending it to me for a review. Next up, we have Snowy_Carlos. And this is for another ball python and another beautiful Zen habitats enclosure. Love to see that. And oh, I love this. I feel like I could just watch ball python enclosures. Like I could just look at them all day long. They're just, I love it. I feel like they're the perfect size snake in a 4x2 enclosure. The Zen PVC enclosures are so great for them. And then seeing them put together, like, it looks so good. You have those nice sliding front opening doors for easy access, and then the enclosure just looks beautiful. So we have tons of live plants, a perfect substrate, Tons of different things to climb on. We have snake plants, we have fake plants. It looks like you have your own naturalistic background along the back, which is really cool with some cork bark. And then you also have things on the side panels, a large deep water bowl. Just beautiful. Chef's kisses. I love it. Thank you so much for sending this. I don't really have anything to add. This is another ideal enclosure that I would love to see for ball pythons. And your ball python is absolutely adorable. Look at that little noodle. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for sharing it. Next up, we have SK period exotic, and it is for another beautiful ball python. This one looks like a banana or coral glow morph. Not exactly sure which one it is specifically, but it is absolutely stunning, as well as this setup. I'm not entirely sure what type of enclosure this is. I don't think it's a Zen Habitats, but it does look similar to another 4x2 setup. I can't see the entire thing. I think she took a picture of like the left side and then the right side. So it does kind of look like a 4x2 if you put the two together. There's a water bowl in the center. The left side there's a hide, and then it looks like there's hiding areas in the right side. And it looks like they're either, I think they're all fake plants in this setup, and it looks like a cocoa husk type of substrate. So my recommendations for this enclosure for your beautiful ball python, I would recommend to add another, you may have one, it's hard to tell in the picture. On the right side, it doesn't look like there's like an actual hide. There's hiding areas, which is great, but I would just make sure there's another full-on hide on that side. I would also mix in other things into your substrate. Cocoa husk, it can work, but I find that it's more beneficial when you mix it into other things. That's why I usually buy brands that just have like all of these different substrates mixed in one. You have some moss in it, you have some maybe repti bark, some sand, different things in there will just help to fill it out, make it thicker, because I find that the cocoa husk like that just dries out very easily and can be a little bit dusty. So you just want to thicken that up a little bit. Some of the ones that are my favorites are the Josh's Frogs bio bedding. And then there's another one that I actually recently tried out that is another good option. It's very thick. And then some other things that you can add would just be some moss and leaf litter into that substrate to help thicken it up, and it would just be really good enrichment for your snake as well. Another thing to add would be, if you have a thicker substrate, it would also be better for plants. So then you can try to add some live plants. You have a baby, so I'm guessing your baby isn't going to trample the plants as bad as an adult. So you can get away with putting some live plants in there that'll last for a while if you get a thicker substrate. So that would be my recommendation. And then other than that, I would just add maybe possibly more things to climb on, because ball pythons are fairly active snakes. People don't think that they are, but they are secretly at nighttime, and they are semi-arboreal, so the more climbing opportunity that you can give your snake, the better. But those are my only recommendations for this. Everything else looks very on point and very beautiful, as well as your snake, so thank you so much for sharing it. Next up, we are looking at Kuzan the Cresty on Instagram. And this cresty gecko, I am not sure what morph this is, but it looks really fancy. It is absolutely stunning, like the saturation, all of the colors. I'm guessing it's like a tricolor harlequin something. It's probably something fancier than that. I don't even know, but it is absolutely stunning. Thank you so much for sharing a picture. And oh my god, this picture of this enclosure is just like heaven. It is so beautiful. Like, oh my god, look at those lush, healthy, beautiful plants. And they're all live. Like, wow. We have some like thriving pothos throughout this entire setup. And we have some Dracana going on and different things to climb on. We have the Pangea bowl. I didn't even notice the crested gecko in this picture is at the bottom. Like, there's so much hiding opportunity and opportunity for increasing humidity and for hydration for your gecko with all of those plants everywhere. You have a naturalistic background on the back. I'm not entirely sure what size this enclosure is. I'm guessing it is an 18 by 18 by 24, which is the minimum amount that you would want for a crested gecko, which is perfect. Honestly, just a perfect example of what I would like to see for crested geckos. So this is it. It looks like a little piece of the jungle, and it is beautiful. I'm sure that your gecko is so happy in there. So just a beautiful gecko and setup. Looks like they also have UVB on top, which is not required, but it can be beneficial for your crested geckos. So it's also just another amazing aspect of this beautiful setup, and it really illuminates everything, and I'm sure it helps the plants as well. So just absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing this. So those are all of the enclosures that I'm going to be reviewing for today. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted them. And hopefully I'll get to do another one of these sooner than the last time I did, because it's been months since I've done this. Maybe close to a year. It's been a very long time. I will definitely do more of these. So just pay attention to my Instagram, because when I'm able to actually do this, I kind of just post randomly on my story and select the first few people that will submit to me. So that is my way of doing it. I definitely plan to do more. I don't have like a timeline of when I'm going to do it exactly. So just kind of stay tuned. And if you happen to be paying attention when I do it, then amazing. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. And thank you so much to everyone who submitted. And I will see you guys in the next one.